Hello friends, today I am going to discuss another difference, private company and public company. So the main topic is mostly about difference between two different categories of the company under Companies Act. So first you remember the similar point is Companies Act will apply to both, right? Maybe of 1956 or maybe of 2013. Both are applied to both categories of companies, right? Okay. Second point. Now I am explaining the differences. The first difference is number of members. In a private company and public company, private company has a requirement of establishing company minimum 2 members and maximum not more than 200. I repeat, for private company minimum requirement of 2 members and maximum not more than 200. In case of public company, minimum requirement of numbers are 7 and maximum numbers are unrestricted. So anyone can be member, but minimum 7 members, right? So the first point is clear, I think so. Second point is transfer of shares. In case of private company, neither any possibility of transfer of shares through its articles. Means there is complete restriction of transfer of shares through any person. In other words, I could say no purchase and sale of the shares is possible in private company through market. If any person want to give back his shares to the company, then it is possible, but transfer of share is not possible. For public company, transfer of share is easy and allowed through stock market, right? In case of equity share, but for public company also, preference share could not be sold, right? Remember this line. Okay. Third point I will discuss, invitation to public. See, public cannot be invited to subscribe the shares or debentures in private company, and neither any prospectus will be allowed to publish. But in case of public company, the invitation to the subscribers by issuing prospectus is allowed and possible. Clear? Let's continue the fourth point. Private company is, in case of private company, one person company could be allowed. I repeat, one person company could be allowed after 2013 Companies Act, not before that. But for public company, when 7 are minimum required, then one person company cannot be started. In case of one person company category I am talking, right? So private company could allow, but public company could not allow. Clear? Okay. Fifth point is number of directors. So when 2 members are in company for private company, then only 2 members will be the director minimum. For a public company, when 7 members are there, then 3 members could become director, but as per the Companies Act, minimum 1 women director is required in these three directors. Clear? One women director is required. Right, my friends? Okay. Let's come to the sixth point. Name of company. See, the name of company means which title will be categorized. In private company, the private limited words is insisted under Companies Act to be added at last. It shows that the limitation of liability, private limited, I repeat the word limited, shows limitation of liability, but only if private company, if the private company word is there, means the liability is unlimited. So the which word is insisted decides its category. If limited word is not in private company, then it will be considered to be unlimited company. For a public company, the same point is deciding. The limited word is required to insert decides the limited liability of the shareholders. Same to the private company. So limited word decides the status or the category as the limited liability. But if the unlimited is required, then not to write anything like limited or not. Just only status, company decides the unlimited liability. But mostly in public company, the liability will limited up to their proportion of the shares in company. Right, my friends? The seventh point is coming articles of association. Remember, for a private company, articles of association is required to prepare and required to get registered compulsorily with registrar of companies. But for a public company, the model articles are required to state in Schedule 1. So instead of articles of association, model articles given in Schedule 1 will be applicable automatically if articles of association is not prepared. Clear? So keep in your mind that articles of association decides its status. Is it public company? Then model articles as per Schedule 1 will be applied instead of articles of association. But for private company, articles of association is must to declare. Clear? Okay. We have studied that what is the meaning of articles of association. We have already studied. Just I revise the point. So you cannot misguide and misunderstood. Say article of association indicate rights of members. I repeatedly indicating the words. Rights of members, share installments, share forfeiture, powers of board of directors. These all things are required to be included in articles of association, and for private limited company it is must. The same will be applied under Schedule 1 for model articles. Right? Okay. Now the eighth point, minimum subscription. The provision of minimum subscription is not applied to the private company because all members are adding their shares by contributing specific fund. So as per the specific fund, their shares will be allotted. So in that case, minimum subscription is not required. Let's come to the public company. The provision of minimum subscription is required. So minimum if 15 shares are necessary, then you need to purchase 15 shares, whatever may be the minimum price of 500 with premium. Per share 500, 15 shares minimum, it comes to 7500, right? Thereafter you can add how much shares you want to do, but minimum you need to purchase minimum subscriptions, right? So this is the 8th point of difference, and the 9th point of difference is issue of new shares. So if we are discussing about private company, issue of new shares can be offered to the persons other than existing members of company, but these issue of new shares will be exceeded to the number of members up to 200, not more than that, right? Maximum numbers are 200, so up to limit of 200 members, whatever the shares you want to issue, you can issue. So in that proportion, the additional fund will come to the same company. So that is not a matter. Clear, my friends? Let's come to the public company, the 9th point I am discussing. Issue of new shares is required to offer first to existing members of company. Means here it will be rights of the existing members to get the new proportion of the shares if they want to. Additional offers will come from other shareholders at later stage after getting interest of present or existing shareholders, right, my friends? So here I discussed today with you about private company and public company. So now we move to the second difference about cooperative society and company. See, this is the last point. For company, we know that which law is applied. Companies Act may be of 1956 or maybe of 2013. But for cooperative societies, it is required to be registered under Cooperative Society Act. So the additional point of the Act is added here. You can understand what I mean to say. You have to write down by this additional point. Applied Act. I am adding my point. Under Cooperative Society Act, cooperative societies will be applied. But for companies, for any company, it is required to register under Companies Act of 1956 or 2013 as per the time, right? Okay. Now we are moving to the meaning of cooperative society. The economic organization which is working with voluntary association of people on basis of equality in term of the membership for improving their economic condition. The economic enterprise which is voluntary organization for persons on basis of equality in membership to improve their economic condition, the organization starts is called cooperative society, and I have stated it is required to be registered under Cooperative Societies Act. For Companies Act, any enterprise which is formed as a voluntary association of person to earn the profit through legal business activities. A organization or enterprise which is a voluntary association of people to earn profit through legal business is called company and required to register under Companies Act. Clear? Okay. Third point is motive. For any business enterprise, motive is always profit. So for any cooperative society, we think motive of profit is subsidiary, not primary. But for company, the motive of profit is primary. So some words are making its differences, but other main motive for the cooperative society is to do service, make economic development and upliftment of members. So main motive of cooperative societies is service to the society, upliftment of members and economic development of members. Right, my friends? So I hope you can understand what I mean to say. Okay, let's come to the fourth point, number of members. In case of cooperative societies, we must remember that minimum 10 members are necessary, but maximum numbers restriction is not there. So minimum numbers provision is there, maximum restriction of provision is not there. Okay. For company, in case if it is a private company, minimum required members are 2 and maximum numbers are 200. But for a public company, minimum numbers are 7 and maximum are unlimited. So you have to understand company always by its category as private or public. The fifth point of difference is process of establishment. In case of process of establishment, I could say that process of establishment is much easier than any kind of the company, because the registration process is also easy compared to the any kind of company. But for company side, process of establishment is lengthy and complicated comparatively any other business organization. Right? Sixth point is coming management. See, for any cooperative society, management is usually run in a democratic way and method of voting as per number of members. Single vote per member is a method of voting. But for any company, the democratic management is also there. But main difference is voting method is on a basis of holding of shares in hands of members. Whichever the member has, whatever the number of the share, that number of the share decides their importance. Right? So democracy become the illusive, so-called democracy, because any person has 1 lakh share of any company, then his part of the company will be much better than others. So his 1 years will become the 1 lakh years. 1 lakh years. Because the voting is done on basis of the numbers of shares. But in cooperative society, the voting is based on single vote per member. So it is more democratic in compared to companies. The 7th point is issue of shares. See here, issue of shares in cooperative society is having equal numbers, equal right to every member, and neither any category will be divided in shares as like the preference share and equity share. It is not possible. Every member will have similar category shares. But in company, the shares will be depend upon its category. As preference share, it will be additional to the equity share. Means if the expected money or fund or capital is not generated through equity share, in that case company will issue the preference share to only those people, and those preference share cannot be sold in the market. So that is the difference. And for private and for cooperative society, neither any possibility of any selling of shares. Right? If anybody wants to resign, then he can submit his share to the company also. Means cooperative society also, nothing more. Transfer of share due to that is not possible in case of cooperative society. But in case of company, shares can be transferred in public company. Exactly, I am using word. Shares can be transferred in public company, not in private company. So when we are making the difference, then we must use this word that shares can be transferred in public company only. Okay. Thereafter, effect on share capital, the 9th point I am discussing. Reduction in capital fund if members numbers are redeeming their share. Redeeming share means they surrender their shares to the society, so the future number of the shares will be reduced, and in that situation the capital fund will also reduce. But for company, no alteration to capital fund will be done in equity share, because in public companies easily shares selling process is possible. So one person is selling the share and other person is purchasing the share. Simple. So there is no problem or there is no alteration to capital fund of the company will arise. And last point is coming, use of profit. Remember, the profit of cooperative society is mostly used for giving dividend to the member and will be used for the benefit of the members only as per the provision of the cooperative society law. And for company, not all profit will be distributed to the shareholders, but some proportion of the profit will be distributed to the shareholders. Easily it is possible, right my friends? So here I have completed today with you about difference of cooperative society and companies also, right my friends?